WABC, Talk Radio 77. New York City's #1 AM radio station. Arbitron rating, Fall 92. And now, Bob Grant.
WABC, New York.
And let's be heard. Good afternoon, everyone. The telephone lines are open. The number to call in Connecticut, 203-862-WABC. From New Jersey, 201-489-WABC. And from New York or anywhere else, 212-563-WABC. In a program dedicated to the free and open exchange of ideas and of opinions. And what is on your mind this afternoon, huh? Well, ladies and gentlemen, one of the prices that we pay, and if we want it to stop, it'll stop. The best way to stop it is for people to do what I do. Keep being natural. Okay? Thank you. That slams the lid on things for today. Until tomorrow, this is Bob Grant reminding you, your influence counts. Use it!
This is New York and America's most listened to talk radio station.
WABC, New York.
It's 7 o'clock from ABC. No,
an instant check I would be for.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's 70 million gun owners. We're not criminals. We're doctors, we're lawyers, we're policemen.
So what's the problem with registering the damn gun?
You do. When you buy a rifle, you sign forms.
All right, so what's the problem
Why
then?
are the liberals crying about it always? We are not the problem.
Thank you for the call.
All right.
They go over and over and over again. Rocco, you're on WABC. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Grant. Prior to me, one of your callers made a statement that the Republican lately, they're going to be like a fascist. I don't know why
He didn't say that.
It's what he said.
He didn't say Republicans.
What he said, but maybe I misunderstood.
He said the liberals were like fascists.
Oh, well, I misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was wondering if he knows the meaning of a fascist, of Republican, or a Democratic, or a communist, because I don't think he knows the difference from one to another.
Well, I think he was using it. He mispronounced it, but I think he was using it correctly.
He used the word.
Back to our telephones on WABC and from Brooklyn, Jake. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Jake.
Yes, Bob, why don't you just simply answer? These people are crying all the time. Why you're crying that Bush lost? I mean, you're not crying because he lost. You're crying because Clinton won, because this is only the beginning.
Well, yeah, it is only the beginning. This is the beginning of the end.
There's more to cry about him winning than Bush losing.
Well, it's the other side of the coin, you know.
Right.
Okay.
And that's about it. And keep up your good work.
All right, thank you, Jake. Hello, Phil. You're on WABC. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Grant. Mr. Grant, don't you know that the guy that just called Jake is a faggot? I mean, can't you just tell by the sound of his voice?
No,
Let me get on to what I want to talk about.
I really didn't pick that up, Phil.
Well, listen to it next time, and you'll catch that ladylike voice.
Well, the guy was sound politically. I don't care if he had a ladylike voice or a manlike voice, or he sounded like a fafufnik. He was making sense. But go ahead.
Well, Mr. Grant, let me tell you about the greatest perpetration of a biased crime that was ever committed. 60 Minutes. Some black guy with dreadlocks walked through Beverly Hills, and he walked through Beverly Hills a couple of times a week, and the police stopped him, and they would take him out of Beverly Hills. They would ask him if he was there to see someone, if he knew anyone there. Finally, they took him out of there one night, and he had an attorney. And the case was settled out of court for $3 million because we took this guy that came from Jamaica or Bermuda, and we denied him his civil rights, walking through Beverly Hills at 3 o'clock in the morning. Had no business being there. Didn't know what he was doing there. But he got $3 million for walking through Beverly Hills, which takes me to you. Now, you refer to the mayor as the attendant from 21. We had some guy by the name of Carmichael in the 60s, and we had a president that passed the greatest civil rights laws since the beginning of time. And he referred constantly to that president as a buffoon. Do you remember the guy I'm talking about? I don't remember. He had one of those stupid first names, but his last name was Carmichael. Hello?
What's the difference? What is the difference, Phil? What is the difference?
The difference is this. Why can't you refer to, why did they stop you referring to this imbecile, this mayor, this supposed mayor who can't take the heat, could only take the good, but can't take the bad? I mean, has got 90% of all the white people in this city, in the city of New York, wishing he would go away. Solid with the black. I mean, the blacks are what he called. They'll stand by him no matter what he does. They could what he called. Dinkins could practically steal their eyeballs out, and they won't turn away from him. They'll vote for him 100%. Why? Because he's black like they are. And I'm simply saying this, Mr. Grant. There's no reason in the world why you, with your personal opinion, cannot refer to him as the attendant from the men's room attendant at 21. Can I hear you say that just once, Bob?
Well, I did refer to him at one time as the men's room attendant.
I want you to refer to him right now.
I did. I just said it. Didn't
okay.
I? Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Grant.
I told you that that's the way I referred to him. It became such a burning issue with this company. It transcended everything else. It was such a big thing that I don't say it anymore. But that's got nothing to do with you. If it makes you feel good to refer to him in that term.
No. It makes me sad that I don't hear you say it.
Well,
because I think you have every right to say it.
Well.
And I don't think...
Yeah, well, listen...
And if you could call Mario a Swachim, and I agree with you most heartily, you have every right to refer to him as the attendant.
You see, I didn't have these problems when Eddie Koch, before he turned huckster, when Eddie Koch was the mayor, I didn't have any problems. When the almost mayor, little Abe Beam, who might be under this council, wait, let me look. No, he's not here. I certainly gave it to him. And the Tower of Jelly, John Lindsay.
I remember that, too.
And a few choice names I had for Wagner, but by the time I got here, Wagner was no longer the mayor. But, see, those guys, they didn't have that protective coating.
Absolutely.
They didn't have the right complexion.
And very quickly, Mr. Grant, I just want to add this, that it steams me up. When I hear a guy that comes from Jamaica or the Dominican Republic, I could sympathize with a black man that was born here, and he may have an opinion that he's not getting a break. I don't agree with him, but I think he's got a legitimate reason to complain. After all, he was born here.
Well, if you're an American, you have a right to complain.
Listen to me.
At the other end, New Jersey State Assemblyman Robert Singer, Republican of Ocean County, the sponsor of a proposed constitutional amendment legalizing sports betting. We've been hearing a lot of talk about sports betting. It seems as though we've been hearing that for years and years, and yet nothing really seems to happen. Are you confident that this time you may see some results?
Well, first of all, good evening, Bob, and thanks for having me on the show tonight. The bill just passed the Senate about an hour ago, which is a very, very important thing for us because it's heading in the right direction now. We're hopefully to have a vote on it in the State Assembly within the next week or so. The federal government left us a window of opportunity that we have the next year to put on the ballot to let people vote on it, or we won't be able to have it at all.
All right. So let's see. It went through the Senate, you say, about an hour ago.
Yes.
Did it go through comfortably, veto-proof?
No. What happens is to put it on the ballot for a constitutional amendment, it can happen one of two ways. Either 2 consecutive years you have to have a simple majority, which is 21 votes in the Senate and 41 in the Assembly, or you have to have a 2/3 vote in both houses put on that year. It passed the Senate by 21 votes, which is a simple majority. We're hopefully having for a 41 vote in the Assembly, which means we'll have to vote on it again next year to put it on the ballot.
All right. So if it gets legislative approval this year, it has to get it next year. And then it would go to the public in the form of a constitutional amendment
In November.
in November.
You're absolutely right.
Now, of course, there are people criticizing it. Critics include coaches like P.J. Carlesimo of Seton Hall, Chuck Daly of the New Jersey Nets, NBA Commissioner David Stern. They are criticizing this. They fear that that more attention will be paid to what the spread is than to the outcome of the game. What's your response to that?
Well, Bob, I don't know if you happened to see 60 Minutes last night. I did. They were talking about the $50 billion illegal sports wagering industry right now that's in the country. If $50 billion bet a year right now hasn't tainted the sports, I don't think 8 or 9 casinos in Atlantic City are going to taint them. I think we have to put things in perspective. We have made a conscious decision in the state of New Jersey via the voters that we're going to support programs for handicapped and senior citizens via gambling in Atlantic City, and we're going to support things such as higher education and state institutions via a lottery. That's a decision the state made, the people of the state made. This is adding an attraction to an industry that's thriving in New Jersey right now, that employs some 75,000 people, that throws off hundreds of millions of dollars to the state, both in direct revenue and indirect. And it's having a challenge. And the challenge is that other states, such as Connecticut, Pennsylvania, the Midwest, and Chicago, all looking at gaming as a source of revenue. We will be the last state allowing to have sports betting. We estimate sports betting to be a $2 to $4 billion industry in the state of New Jersey illegally now. Why not let the people of the state benefit from that? Why not the taxes come into the state? Why not the wagering employ more people in our state? Why should we help the criminal element by allowing just to remain in the criminal area?
Yeah, there's some people who are already saying we thought that the casinos would bring revenue into the New Jersey coffers, but we don't see the results of that. Could you assure them that the casino gambling has paid off?
Absolutely. Each year, we have a thing called the Casino Revenue Fund, which generates money to senior citizens and handicapped people, low-income seniors and handicapped, to provide such programs as the PAD, which is the PAD program, which is a pharmaceutical program that says for $5 you get any prescription filled. That one program alone is needed for $171 million. It's totally funded from casino revenues. The casino, for the casino funds, generates $280 million a year just for that. There's a redevelopment corp that loans low-interest loan money statewide to nonprofit organizations. For example, in my particular community, they just built a daycare center for Ocean County, built with low-income monies coming out of that fund. They just had a Ocean County ARC, Ocean County Retarded Citizens, just built their building last year based on a loan from that fund. And that's a statewide type of situation. Forgetting about the jobs, forgetting about the ripple effect of other businesses, the state itself has gained hundreds of million dollars in direct revenue from the casinos. So that's not a true statement if someone says, what have we gained from? We've gained hundreds of millions of dollars. Actually, they add it all together, it's billions of dollars, plus 75,000 jobs, 55,000 directly in Atlantic City, 20,000 statewide additional jobs, plus all the revenues and all the people coming into our state, the tourist attraction, the regeneration of a lot of areas within Atlantic City itself. It's a positive thing once we've made that decision. And we can argue back and forth whether gambling is a fair way to do things. We've made that decision already in the state. And I think hampering the industry and saying, they now have gaming in Connecticut, which right now is being done on the reservations, which is affecting Atlantic City. And that the possibility of having gaming in Bridgeport and other parts of Connecticut are a real thing that possibly could happen, which would seriously hurt our industry. I think we have to help the industry remain solvent and prosperous because we need those money.
My own view is that it's hypocritical to go against your proposal. Some of these people, they sound so sanctimonious. Pardon me, Eva of Clark. They sound so sanctimonious, so self-righteous. But I don't think you're going to be surprised at what I'm going to tell you right now, and that is they are going to mount a very active campaign, an active propaganda campaign to defeat your proposal.
Absolutely. First of all, Bob, I believe wholeheartedly that you're talking about a $50 billion illegal industry. I am sure in any form or way that the criminal element involved in this will be fighting this tooth and nail, whether they give money directly or indirectly to these causes, whether they stir up trouble. I don't blame them. This is hurting the criminal element, and they're going to make a major campaign against us to block it from happening.
Of course, I think I know one way you could do it without any concern for failure, and that would be to declare Ocean County, to declare the casino area, that would be Atlantic County, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Atlantic City, to declare that an Indian tribe. You know, to say Donald Trump is really an Indian chief, and they're all Indians there, and then it'll be okay to run casino, to run sports betting.
Except one thing, Bob, the Indian reservations pay no taxes. So the beneficiary of that would not be the people of the state of New Jersey, it would be the Indian reservation. That's the problem with it. So in essence, it would be nice to do, but unfortunately the people wouldn't benefit.
Strange country where we take enclaves and declare them no longer sovereign territory and let American taxpayers go gamble at these Indian places, and where does that money wind up? Who knows?
Exactly right.
Well, good luck, Assemblyman Singer. I certainly will do what I can to lend whatever air support is needed, but I am not too optimistic about this passage because of the hypocrisy of so many citizens.
Well, Bob, I think the passing of the bill in the Senate today was very important, and I'm optimistic about the whole thing, but I appreciate your support, and I thank you for letting me have time on your show.
Good luck.
Take care. Bye.
All right, that's a member of the Assembly, a hard-working member of the Assembly, and he has thought it all out. He's not just making a lot of noise. Assemblyman Robert Singer of Ocean County, the sponsor of the proposed constitutional amendment legalizing sports betting. The bill would mean that you could bet on out-of-state college sports, professional as well, and betting on professional teams in the state at the various casinos. What are there, 12, Joe Nolan? You're an Atlantic City habitué when you're not reporting traffic or watching the Devils lose.
I believe there are 12, yes.
Yeah.
I don't, it shouldn't, I don't know.
You know, your pal, the guy with the dumb beard, DJ Carlesimo.
Why does he have a
or
dumb...
Carlesimo, which is really the way it's
Carlesimo. He says it Carlesimo.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know. He's a capone.
PJ.
It's a dumb beard the guy's got. Dumb. Stupid.
Anyway, you were going to say something about him other than this dumb beard?
Yeah, predictably, that schmuck is going to be testifying against it.
Well, he should be, because it's going to go down. What's going to happen is that people are going to throw basketball games and football games and baseball games. That's
cut it out. Listen, they would be doing that now, for heaven's sake. They're going to throw basketball games.
No, it shouldn't. They should definitely not do the in-state college games.
Come on, that's so hypocritical, for heaven's sake.
No, I don't gamble. I never gamble. I don't think.
Who's talking about you? Notice the halo on this guy's head.
I hardly ever gamble. I go to the track maybe
now it's hardly.
When my grandfather comes.
We went from I never to I hardly.
Well, I wasn't counting the track. I mean, I go to the track once in a while.
Yeah.
But over there at the Meadowlands.
By the way, Joe, I'm sending a case of Amstel up to Metro Traffic.
Northbound on the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. Still going to be heavy and slow as we start to get up to the Brooklyn Bridge. And this report is a service of Dunkin' Donuts. And you're also looking at delays southbound from Meeker Morgan down to Tillery. The LIE is still heavy. Queens Boulevard, two-car accident. That's in the left lane. The outbound George Washington Bridge is okay. 40 at the Holland, though. 45 at the Lincoln. Inbound Lincoln, a 20-minute delay. 5 at the Holland. Now, the FDR Drive northbound still backed up, actually, both directions into the teens. The western spur of the Turnpike, 4-car accident off on the shoulder. The Grand Central Parkway, make the Garden State Parkway northbound heavy from the Union Toll up to 145. Path normal service between Newark and the World Trade Center. Everything else is still out again. They have shuttle buses, shuttle trains, and extra ferry service. Transit Authority, no L service between Manhattan and Brooklyn, and it looks like that path will be gone tomorrow, too. So whatever you did today, you're going to have to do tomorrow as well. And alternate side, one more time, is in effect in all 5 boroughs of New York City tomorrow. Now enjoy Dunkin' Donuts coffee at home. You get 2 pounds of our regular coffee for just $5.99, decaf for $6.99 at participating shops through December 31st. I'm Joe Nolan, Metro Traffic Control, and WABC's Bob Grant. Program.
That is really a quality car I bought. Anyway, now that there's a quality road north of here, the wife and I are going to drive to that quality resort in the Catskills.
Which one?
The quality one where the food and service is really, how can I say this?
Quality?
Yeah.
Jack, do you know that in the last 5 seconds you've used the word quality 5 times?
Oh, really? You got a quality ear on you.
Jack, the word quality should be limited to things that deserve it. Do you know that?
Give me an example.
Okay, our company healthcare plan, U.S. Healthcare, is a quality healthcare plan.
Ah, because of the low doctor's fees, no deductible, and no paperwork?
No. That you'd expect with any good healthcare plan. But
Yeah.
U.S. Healthcare goes beyond good with their high standards in medical care and services.
They're great, huh?
Yes, they recertify doctors and pharmacies annually to make sure they maintain U.S. Healthcare's high standards.
That's great, too.
No, U.S. Healthcare goes beyond great, Jack.
I see what you mean. U.S. healthcare is truly quality.
Yes.
I'll be very, very choosy in using that word quality.
Good move, Jack.
I'd say more than a good move. I'd say to be a
Jack.
Good move.
Good.
Good move.
There you go.
Ask your employer about U.S. Healthcare, the plan with no deductible. U.S. Healthcare, monitoring your family's healthcare.
We all know that times are tough, and when the going gets tough, the tough go shopping at Office Max. Hi, I'm Max for Office Max, where you can save an average of 30 to 70% off manufacturer's list price on thousands of useful gifts people want today. Imagine a store the size of a supermarket with everything from calculators to computers, phones to furniture.
Come to Office Max and pick up a roll of Manco Easy Start tape, the clear carton sealing tape with Easy Start to eliminate the frustration of beginning the roll. Just $2.99. Save $1.92 and get big savings on the Brother Daisy Wheel electronic typewriter with automatic word and line-out correction system. Only $94. Save 59%.
So stop by Office Max for gifts that are easy on your wallet in tough times like these. Office Max, where savings is the bottom line.
4 Office Max locations in Long Island, including the new Levittown store and the Kmart Plaza on Hempstead Turnpike between Wantagh Parkway and the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway.
Manhattan Ford Lincoln-Mercury is now the home of the One Price showroom. Al Vitarelli, president of Manhattan Ford Lincoln-Mercury, says, I want to make buying a car easy for everybody, so I created the One Price showroom. Its time has come. Imagine every full-size sedan, every sports coupe, every hatchback, every wagon on his showroom floor. None higher than $8,495. And Al says every one of these cars is special to begin with. They're all right out of his rental fleet, 1991 vehicles with only 23,250 to 39,600 miles. All equipped with air conditioning, automatic transmission, AM/FM stereo with cassette. At Manhattan Ford Lincoln-Mercury, they have a no-nonsense pledge. The price you see is the price you pay. It means no gimmicks, no nonsense, and it also means one price shopping. He's got 18 in stock, one ready for you. Manhattan Ford Lincoln-Mercury, West 57th Street, 11th Avenue, 212-5817-800. Only tax license registration fees are extra. All right, Phil checking in now from New Jersey. Hello, Phil.
Hi, Bob. I have 2 questions about what the Assemblyman was speaking about on gambling. One is, why is a constitutional amendment required and not just a law? Would you happen to know anything about that?
Because the state of New Jersey Constitution says that certain issues cannot be addressed by virtue of legislation, that it has to be a change in the Constitution.
I see. Okay, secondly, I was listening to his justifications for this bill, and what was going through my mind was that the same things could seem to apply to legalizing prostitution and drugs.
Well, I don't know about, yeah, you could do that. It all depends. If you want to equate drugs with gambling,
well,
then I know where you're coming from.
He's talking about illegal gambling going on. Well, there's certainly illegal prostitution and drugs going on. So it seems to me a little hypocritical not to include...
I think you're right. Let's include everything.
Right.
Thank you, Phil.
Okey-doke.
Hope your adenoids clear up. Jimmy, you're on WABC. Hello.
Hi, I was, the newsbreaker broke up what I was...
oh, that's right. That's right, Jimmy.
All right, Gus Hall spoke yesterday at the Communist Party headquarters in New York, and he spoke of the successful use of violence during President Roosevelt's presidency, and how the successful use of violence and mass protest and action helped bring about the New Deal. And he says this is what we have to do now to push Clinton to the left. And he says Clinton will hear. Clinton will hear it. So it leads me to believe that maybe Clinton is expecting it. Also, one more thing, and then I know I can't have the whole show here. If Les Aspin gets appointed to a cabinet-level position, that means Congressman Ron Dellums could become the head of the Armed Services Committee. Now, Ron Dellums, as you know, is a close personal friend of Fidel Castro, and they're on a first-name basis. So I think we have a lot to be worried about and to keep looking at. And I thank people like you and your show, which is like a voice of like Radio Free America. And I think you have to keep it up and let us and you bring this information out to the public.
I appreciate that, Jimmy. Thank
you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you. John, Bob Grant with you on WABC.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, John.
I was wondering, I haven't heard too much comment about the appointments by Clinton over Ron Brown as one appointment, and then Leon Panetta, another appointment that was made. And I just wanted to know what you thought about those two appointments.
Well, I despise, I loathe, I don't have words to tell you of my antipathy for Ron Brown. This constantly quelling, smug jerk. Constantly preening like a peacock.
Yeah.
I can't stand him personally, and politically, of course, he's certainly not my ideal. So, as far as Ron Brown is concerned, I despise him. He's beneath contempt. About the appointment, what did you expect? What did you expect Slick Willie to do but to give Ron Brown a key appointment?
That Slick Willie's always so specific on the issues, and he picks someone who's absolutely... He never comes to the point on any issue.
Yeah, but don't go criticizing Slick Willie for doing what people like me predicted he would do. As far as Panetta is concerned, he says he's an advocate for deficit reduction.
But he's against the balanced budget amendment.
Well, he's always been against a balanced budget amendment. He is a typical taxer, a spender. That's why I wonder how he could be for deficit reduction, because he's a spender.
Well, the media won't talk about it, so I figure maybe we should talk about it.
Oh, no, the guy's getting a free ride. I said he would. There's nothing critical. As a matter of fact, speaking of something critical, can you imagine if when George Bush was president, somebody gave him the use of a real palatial spa off the Gulf Texas coast? Well, it would be a big hue and cry, and yet the Clintons have been given the use of the extremely magnificent place in California, owned by Harry Thomason and his wife Linda Thomason. I'll call her Linda Thomason. She insists on the Bloodworth. The question is, the Thomasons are among the most politically active people in Hollywood, and they unapologetically use their money and their television shows to push liberal causes and candidates. And what they've done is given Slick Willie and his boss, Hillary, the use of this home, the vacation home overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Somehow or other, there seems to be something wrong there.
I think if President Bush did it, there would be like a special prosecutor. We'd have to get a special prosecutor and
a special prosecutor at all times, right? Matter of fact, they should appoint. If the Republicans ever get back in, the Democrats, who will be in control of the Congress in perpetuity, will probably appoint a standing special prosecutor. Special prosecutor.
It's going to be interesting to watch Bill Clinton when he has his news conferences or his press conferences, because He seems not to be too sharp at the press conferences.
Really?
Well, the ones I've seen, I don't.
He's never had a loss. No, he's glib. He's slick.
Well,
my gosh! I said he's
he
slick.
seemed glib and slick during the debates because every time he spoke, it was like he was giving a speech.
Hey, you know what? I notice his voice still gives him trouble. Wouldn't it be wonderful if he would lose his voice? I mean, really lose it? They call him Whispering Clinton. And, of course, Hillary could come out and say, hey, look, I've been telling him what to say anyway, so I might as well say it. So I just ask me.
Yeah, Hillary should handle the press conference.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Well, it's nice talking to you, Bob. I got to get home and get something to eat.
Thank you, John.
All right, take care. Bye.
This portion brought to you by American Express.
Hi, it's me, Bob.
And Carol here, with a tip from the American Express card. How to shop for those people who seem to have everything.
Well, almost everything. You know, people with impeccable taste.
Hard to please, like my Aunt Harriet.
Really, I remember what you went through last year. You finally gave her that huge antique whatever it was.
Yes, and she already had one.
I know the feeling.
So where do you find the place that has those special gifts certain to please the most discriminating people on your list without exhausting yourself?
Why not begin at the right place? A place like Searles. They have a beautiful selection of women's winter fashions to take the chill out of those long winter nights. Who wouldn't love a luxurious lightweight shearling with matching mittens and scarf? And their wonderful knitwear, chenilles, cashmeres, and silks are sure to warm the heart as well as the body this holiday season. There are 5 Searles locations in Manhattan.
And they welcome the American Express card.
Don't leave home without it. So have fun shopping for those people who have everything.
And remember, everyone has room for one more gift.
Even your Aunt Harriet.
This is not investing, but speculating. Many people achieve returns of 40, 50, 60%, as much as 100% investing in options. Options are offered on most major stocks and commodities, including oil, government bonds, gold, and silver. The potential of high profits combined with certain risks have made option investments very popular among investors. With an investment of as little as $2,000, you too can participate in this exciting market. To find out how, call for your free, no-obligation brochure on the world of options from the James Norris Company, 1-800-331-3161. This free kit includes easy-to-follow graphs and booklets, along with a cassette tape. Call the James Norris Company today for your free option kit, no obligation. 1-800-331-3161. 1-800-331-3161. All investors, from first-timers to seasoned professionals, should receive this free brochure and cassette. These brochures and your free cassette have already helped many investors in this exciting field of investing. They can help you, too, by calling James Norris Company at 1-800-331-3161. 1-800-331-3161. Remember, this is not investing, but speculating. You could lose part or all of your investment.
Dial Mattress has been selling quality bedding for over 10 years, is now offering a special savings on Simmons Beauty Rest adjustable beds. Dial Mattress offers same-day delivery, convenient shop at home service. No salesman will call you. And here's what the Beauty Rest adjustable bed has that no other electric adjustable has. They have 660 individually pocketed coils, more than twice the coils of other adjustable beds. Patented electric motors designed exclusively for an adjustable bed. Wireless remote control. That's right, wireless, just like a television. Dual massage with the touch of a button. Free in-home service. Plus all the ease and convenience of ordering from Dial a Mattress. You'll love the discounted prices and Dial a Mattress service. Call anytime. 1-800-MATTRES. And remember, leave off the last S. That's the S for savings. Hello, Charles. You're on WABC.
Good evening, Bob. Thanks for taking my call. I want to talk about stinking Dinkins.
Yes.
This has been really bothering me since September. My brother-in-law, Brian Gaffney, was with the New York Fire Department for 24 years. In mid-September, he died of a massive heart attack while on duty. Dinkins not only never showed up at the wake or the funeral, never even bothered to call and give his condolences to the family. Not that they were really wanted, but out of respect of 24 years of service, it should have been given. But he runs up and pays condolences to a drug dealer's family. Also goes to the funeral of a cop who's on the job for about 2 years. Under certain circumstances, she shot and killed. But yet a man that serves his city the way my brother-in-law did gives absolutely zero respect. It just shows what a phony this guy is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Bob.
All right. It's Nick checking in on WABC. Hello, Nick.
How you doing, Bob? I just want to say a few things. First of all, you shouldn't have called P.J. Carlesimo a schmuck, because he's really a nice guy.
Well, he looks stupid with that dumb beard.
And I just want to say one thing. Will all the people in Crown Heights just join in harmony? Because I really think they should do that. You know? And David Dinkins is not a phony. He really isn't. I was just wondering if I could have an autographed picture of you.
If you could have what?
An autographed picture of you.
Well, you write to the station and they'll probably send one out to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bob.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Chris, you're on WABC. Hello.
Good evening, Bob. I want to make a proposal to you on the use of the word left and right. I know that you know where it came from in terms of the French Revolution, and I don't think the American population is sophisticated enough historically to actually understand that. And I would propose that the use of the term rationalist versus irrationalist would be a fundamental starting point as to how somebody thinks or doesn't think. And that I've been observing what's going on. I agree with a great deal of what you're saying. I think, coming off of Marilyn Ferguson's book, Aquarian Conspiracy, that all the weirdos, the irrationalists, are being...
Marilyn Ferguson's book?
I think it's Marilyn Ferguson. You know, it was called the Aquarian Conspiracy.
Don't you mean Marilyn Quayle's book?
No, that's not Marilyn Quayle.
No?
But what I...
Why do you laugh?
Excuse me? I don't think it's Marilyn Quayle.
Yeah, you know something, Charles? You're not making any sense. First of all, nobody's going to refer to himself as an irrationalist. Everybody thinks he or she is rational. You think you're rational. WABC, let's say hello to Frank. Hello, Frank.
Good evening. Interesting scenario, similarities between Florio and Clinton. I think you'll get a kick out of this. There's an expression they use, NIMBY. Not in my backyard.
Of course.
But that's what they say in New Jersey when it comes to the dumps that nobody wants because they're afraid to burn the garbage. In the Clinton campaign, we have to have one called a Vostner. That means, I didn't vote for him. It's already starting. People won't admit they voted for this guy just listening to the news, what's going on. They're embarrassed to say, I voted for Bill Clinton. Don't you find that cute?
I don't know. Maybe that's premature, Frank, but thank you just the same. Sheila checking in on WABC. Hello.
Hello, Bob. I want to ask you something about Ladone. Is that from Howard Beach?
Jason Ladone?
Yes.
Yes.
And he didn't kill the man personally, did he?
No, of course not. Nobody killed him. Again, nobody killed him. The guy was doped up. He ran into the Bell Parkway, and they say that that was tantamount to killing him. And yet, Limerick Nelson, with a bloody knife and blood on his clothing and blood on the money that he had, he gets acquitted.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I'd like to ask you another question. Who revoked his appeal? His parole. Who did that?
Who did that?
Yeah, I mean, did the those black Nazis write in that
Well,
they
as soon as word came out that he was going to be paroled, Charlie Hines went to work.
Oh, that brilliant one.
Yeah, that guy, he went to work, and they killed a parole.
Oh, that's terrible. He served too much time. And I want to tell those black Nazis to leave alone the Hasidim because they'll get what Hitler got. Thank you very much, Bob.
All right, on WABC, it's John checking in. Hello, John.
Hi, Bob. How are you? I'd like to talk about history today. I want to talk about John F. Kennedy. Today, the other day, I had a question on my history test, and the question was John F. Kennedy a real liberal? And after studying Kennedy, after watching the Kennedys on PBS, I've come to the conclusion, Bob, that he was closer to Richard Nixon than, let's say, Hubert Humphrey. And that this whole myth that Kennedy was this great liberal is just because of Teddy and the other Kennedy clan, which were basically liberals. Do you think he was a liberal at heart, or do you think he was...
Well, I never looked into his heart, so I can't tell you that. I can't tell you what he was saying for political consumption and what he really believed. I can tell you, however, that his inaugural address was a vintage Cold War address that could have been given by Richard Nixon. It could have been given by Barry Goldwater. It was a hard-hitting, no-holds-barred address when he said, we will defend any friend, we will fight any foe in the defense of liberty. We will, paraphrasing, he said, we will go anywhere in the defense of liberty. It was a challenge to the Soviet Union.
So it's inconceivable to suggest, Bob, that Kennedy would have pulled out of Vietnam, given that he said...
Oh, he was not going to pull out of Vietnam. There's nothing to indicate that he was. Nothing at all.
He said in an interview, he says, I don't agree with those who say they should withdraw. And then Bobby Kennedy said in 1964, they asked him, would you have pulled out of Vietnam? And he said, with a flat out, no way.
No, listen, what we are victimized by is the rewriting of history. And people are trying to rewrite history to have individuals think that, but the real history, the facts do not support that contention. And to play the hypothetical game, what if he had lived, is very, you're on very shaky ground. I do believe that if he had lived, it would not have been as bad as it was, because Lyndon Johnson was an absolute disaster. And Lyndon Johnson had no foreign policy experience. He was not interested in foreign policy, whereas the Kennedy clan had always been interested in foreign policy, as you well know. That's another reason why Slick Willie should have been defeated. No real feel for foreign policy.